Hi, let's talk with Yolanda. How you doing? How you doing today? It's absolutely a beautiful day. Hermoso días. Día precioso. How you doing? Can we talk today? Thank you for joining in. And today, I would like to talk about street violence and trauma. You know, what does trauma look like? What does trauma look like after all these layers of different crises has kind of touched us, touched our family, So before we get started, I want to do an icebreaker and I want to do the breathing exercise. I'm going to do 5 and I'm going to ask you to join in with me. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and last one, inhale and exhale. How you doing, people? How you doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey Delia, how are you? Today I wanted to talk to you about the street violence and how you're affected by it emotionally. Where does the trauma come in? Or has the trauma already sat in and you're not even aware that it is trauma? There's been so many layers, okay? It's like the whole trial with George Floyd, yes, we have accountability, but on the flip side of the accountability, there has been layers of trauma. It was one thing that he was killed. It was another thing that, to get justice, to make people accountable, you had to replay it and replay it, on social media to get the outcome that we wanted, So therefore, trauma, that's trauma within itself. Can we talk about it, people? How you doing? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about, the street violence versus trauma, the pandemic of COVID, the street violence, the fear, the anxiety, all of which layers that comes under that umbrella and manifests itself, okay? Can we talk about it, people? How you doing? Come on, talk with me today, okay? I want to talk about the exposure to the trauma, the exposure to the different layers of death that you may have witnessed, okay? Or the loved ones that you have lost or watched suffer, within this last year alone, whether the trauma comes from an injury, whether it results in an intense emotional response, of fear, of helplessness. Can we talk about it? Things that are sometimes out of our control. But yes, it is a crisis, a major crisis, okay? Can we talk about it, people? Let's talk, okay? Let's talk about symptoms. Let's talk about symptoms if they have persist more than 4 to 6 weeks. Let's talk about it, people, okay? Let's talk about a sense of detachment, a sense of detachment to the violence that's going on in the community, okay? That you are possibly traumatized by on so many different levels, okay? Can we talk about it? How you feeling today? Negative attitude, these are different warning signs. Negative attitude towards the future, towards hope, can make you take an assessment and say, am I traumatized? Okay. Am I traumatized from the things that's going on? Okay. Good afternoon, people. How you feel today? Okay. A lack of concentration, like you get numb to what's going on, and suppress your feelings and just detach from it like it doesn't exist or it doesn't affect you, but it does. Feelings of sadness, and sometimes feelings of guilt or shame plays a role in this too, okay? Trauma, if it's real to you, is real to me, okay? A crisis is a crisis. If it's your crisis, it's valid, okay? It has validity to it, and it comes in so many different forms and fashions, just feelings of sadness, of when does this stop? When does this go away? Yesterday, the young man was 19 years old, sitting in his car, was shot several times, they say more than 36 times, that traumatizes the person, that traumatizes his family, that traumatizes the community as a whole. That is a major crisis on so many levels, So we talk about trauma, like, can we talk about it, people? Let's talk. Give me some comments, give me some feedback. Give me some of how you're feeling and how you're feeling today, how you have been affected by all of this as a whole. Can we talk about it? Avoidance of thought, avoidance of thoughts and feelings, avoidance of thoughts and feelings just around to center around the conversation of, are you traumatized? Can we talk about it? Let's talk about it, people. Yes, it's real, okay? Being present within yourself, okay? Being present within yourself, knowing that I am traumatized and I need help, okay? This is major, okay? This is major. Being present within yourself, it's like choosing an issue to work on. If you have layers of trauma, Rome wasn't built in a day. Why do we have to deal with all of them at one time? Pick one to deal with and say, let me work on this one. It's like making a cake with all the different ingredients, It does get baked, whether you leave ingredients out or not, okay? Begin to share your narrative, share your narrative of how you're feeling, how you're affected. When you become aware of something that it's like, I'm traumatized by all of this different violence that is centered around me, but I'm suppressing it. I'm holding everything in. Can we talk about it, people? It's time. Be truthful. Be truthful to yourself. Be truthful to yourself. Be truthful to yourself about your feelings. If they're there, they're there. Okay? Where someone else may say that it's not trauma, or it doesn't appear to be trauma. If it's real to you, it's real to you. If it's real to you, it's real to me. Okay? Allowing yourself. It's like giving yourself the permission. Okay? Allowing yourself to feel. Allowing yourself to be angry. You have that right. Allowing yourself to feel emotions. Don't suppress them. Feel them. Deal with them. Clear space. Clear space, because again, if there's clutter, then you can't move in the right direction that you need to move in, So clear the space to allow yourself to start departmentalizing, putting everything in the different perspectives where they belong, okay? Feelings of emotions, when you have a difficult time finding yourself, it's like blocking. It's like all of this stuff I don't want to deal with. So you block, you suppress, you put it back, okay? It takes a village, people, and it takes a village to get the help that we need, okay? Talk about trauma. Talk about the trauma narrative, writing your narrative, sharing your narrative, identifying. That's the key. That's the key, people. Identify it, okay? Identify that you're going through a part of the trauma, or you're going through something and not sure what it is, but you're going through something. Identify the challenge and replace the biased fears of self-talk with reality-based positive self-talk. That's important. That's important, people. Can we talk? That's very important, I hope today you have your blinds open. I hope you're allowing some of the sun to come in, Yes, I have some flowers, They smell pretty, they look pretty, and they're healthy for my environment, You have to find, when you're telling that narrative, you have to treat yourself as well, If your blinds are closed and if it's dark inside, you may want to change the curtains, change the blinds, change the furniture around. You may, make it a happy place. Make it a joyful place. Make it a place that is your sanctuary, that the outside stuff doesn't take away or diminish what you have inside your sanctuary, because your home should be. It should be safe. And, there's so much violence like outside on the other side of that door, that we have to say a lot of this trauma doesn't belong to me, but it was forced on me, because every day is something going on, again, whether there's shootings of young kids, whether there's adults, whether there's senior citizens, you're traumatized by that, because if it happens in your community, you're affected by it, okay? Because it affects everyone. Can we talk about it, people? How y'all doing today? Another thing, when we talked earlier about your narrative, sharing your narrative, we talked before about homework and homework exercises. Homework exercises is very important. Homework exercises is almost like a checklist. It's almost like a checklist of things that you need to do to be a healthier you. Things you may need to do to move forward. Which things like you identifying, again, that word identifying that the dynamics, okay? The dynamics such as fearfulness, negative self-talk. You have to reverse it to positive talk, positive channeling, alternatives, and review your outcome. Okay? If you're in one place today, you do not have to stay in that place. If, you feel that the violence has traumatized you, and just every day is just more and more and more, where today they're having people from all different faiths come together and pray. You have to pull on your strength. You have to pull on your strength, because you do have strengths, even if it's so much stuff that's coming your way that it doesn't look like it. Let's talk about describing the traumatic event, okay? You could take baby steps, but let's talk about it. Begin to verbalize an understanding of a rationale for treatment of trauma, okay? Build on an emotional toll of you. A close-knitted cycle of a support system, whether, again, it's the people next door, whether it's the people in your community, it is very, very important. This is like utilizing mindfulness. Mindfulness is important. You can do 3 different things. You can attach aversion and indifference. Let me break them down. You can attach by, liking things, carving things that we want to hold onto our experience and pleasure. If there's trauma and there's a lot of darkness, you can turn that. You could turn that into brightness. You can turn that into hope. Hope for today, hope for the future, hope for tomorrow. Can we talk about it, people? How you doing today? You can dislike things, pushing away the things we don't like or want to avoid experiences of unpleasurable feelings of what's happening right now, okay? You can switch off. It's like turning on, turning off, your feelings and your emotions about what's taking place. Okay? Can we talk about it, people? This is real. And you don't want to suppress this. You want to talk about it. You want to reach out. You want to get the different help that you may need, okay? Today, I thought of a quote that I would like to use, And it says, circumstances and situations do color life, but you have been given the mind to choose what the color will be. I like that. By John Homer Miller. Let's talk about it, people. That's real. Exercising, your body physically is very important, but also exercising your mind. Being verbal instead of non-verbal. Get involved, whether it's, again, we talk about going outside to get some of that vitamin D, whether it's going outside, whether it's talking with a friend, whether it's Zooming, whether it's journaling. There's so many layer of things that you can do. If you decide you want to garden, you want to go outside and garden out front, or you want to garden out back, if you want to garden beautiful flowers, if you want to garden different vegetables, trauma is real, and it's important to get to a safe place or a safe environment that you feel like you want to start developing how to share your narrative. Okay? It's very, very important. So how you doing today, people? Can we talk? Okay, let's talk with Yolanda. I am so grateful to have this platform. I am so grateful that you take the time and tune in and share this time with me. I hope that you have your blinds open. I hope that you are making changes. I hope that you feel that you have hope for today, hope for tomorrow, and hope for the future, which is so, so, so important. I hope that if you don't have a support network, you start a support network, okay? It takes one person, okay? We're all affected by the street violence. We're all affected by the trauma, So having a group at this time, there's so many so many levels of things in common, because we're all facing this. Okay. Again, I'm going to get ready to close out. Domestic violence is on the rise. Suicide is still on the rise. If you need help, there's a 1-800 number for suicide prevention. Again, you can look on your card, or you can decide to call the 1-800 number for domestic violence. If you feel like you need one-on-one service and you would like to call me, you can call me, and I can be reached at 267-574-4632. Again, that's 267-574-4632. If you were looking to have some individual service, if you wanted to have family service, couple service, you can definitely give me a call again at 267-7. I'm getting it all twisted here. 267-574-4632. I have enjoyed you. If you like what you see, please share it. If you want to put a comment, please put a comment. If you want to discuss and collaborate on different topics, let's do it. If you have chance, go out and buy yourself some flowers. If you have flowers outside, pick them from your garden, to bring in that life that joy in your home, in your safe place, in your haven. I have enjoyed you today, and I am getting ready to go out. If it's the will of God, I will definitely be here next week. Lasimani KPNA, Ramadan Mubarak to my Islamic community. I thank you for taking the time to tune in. I appreciate you. Hug yourself. Love yourself. Do self-care. Until we meet again, Te Precioso, Hermoso Diaz. Have a beautiful day. Let's talk about it. Let's talk with Yolanda. See you later.